Welcome to Stacking the Shelves with Showcase Sunday for, what's it going to be, January 5th? I got a number of books again this week, and some of them were review books, some were residual presents that kind of came late. So I'll just start going through them. The first one I got is Prospero in Hell by LJG Lamplighter. The first book in this series, it's a trilogy, and the first book is Prospero: A Lost. It's fantasy. It's supposed to be a retelling of The Tempest. I have not read the first book, but this one came up on paperback swap, so I went ahead and got it. I do have the first book. Hopefully I'll read it sometime this year. So that's the first book. And then I got 3 books for review. All of these were through the Amazon Vibe program. The first one, which I am reading, you can see this bookmark in it, is The True Tale of the Monster Billy Dean Telt by Himself by David Almond. I've been a big fan of David Almond. I really liked his book Skellig and Heaven Eyes, and I've read a couple other of his books and really enjoyed them. He usually writes middle grade to young adult, kind of magical realism stuff that sometimes doesn't have enough magic to really be fantasy, but is close. This book I'm having trouble with because just you can see it says Telt by Himself. The whole book is written phonetically, not necessarily with correct spelling and punctuation and stuff like that. So it is really hard to read. Really hard to read. Like, I'm having a hard time. And I've read a lot of stuff, obviously. It's one of those things where it's almost better if you read it out loud because the words sound right. They're phonetically written, but they do not read right. It does seem like as the book goes on, the character maybe starts to write a little bit better. The whole thing is he's kind of hasn't been taught very well and whatever. It's been an interesting story, but and I guess I shouldn't be reviewing it, Mailbox Money, but it's not, it's been hard to read. So that one's probably not going to get a great review. The other one I got for review is The Geek's Guide to Dating by Eric Smith. I actually work with Eric Smith quite a bit from Quirk Books and get books from him for review a lot and talk to him about book releases. So I'm excited to read this. I also got this through Vine. It was one of these things where I was like, well, I don't really need to know anything about dating, but you know, it sounds like it might be kind of funny, so go ahead and pick it up. The third book I got for review again from Amazon Vine was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm honestly trying to stay away from dystopian, like, post-apocalyptic stuff because I'm just sick of it. But this sounds like a good book. And it does, I don't know, it sounds like it is a bit of a dystopian type of thing, but we'll see. Maybe more of a science fiction bent to it. I hope. One can hope. Okay, then I got 2 belated Christmas presents from my sister, who I guess she was in Thailand for 3 weeks and decided to ship her his Christmas presents over. The first one is Magi by Shinobu Otaki. I actually saw this on Nicola Mansfield's blog, It's All Comic to Me, and she recommended it as an excellent manga. I have read some manga in the past. I read the Hellsing series and Berserk and a few other ones. I like them. They're just kind of short, and you end up getting into like a 40-book series. So, but she really recommended this as an excellent fantasy one, and so I thought I'd ask for it for Christmas and see if I got it, and I did. The other gift was Fables 19 by Snow White. Snow White by Bill Willingham. This is the most recent trade paperback of the Fables comics, so I am excited to read that. I've been really enjoying that series as well. Then I did go to Half Price Books and pick up a couple books. I am participating in this Fairy Tales Retold reading challenge this year and realized that I don't have a lot of fairy tale retellings, and I also didn't realize when I signed up it's middle grade and young adult, and I do have some adult fairy tale retellings, but not many graphic novel ones, or not many children middle grade ones, young adult ones. So I found these kind of ironically just browsing at Half Price Books and decided to pick them up. The first one is Cloaked in Red by Vivian van de Velde. And this is a collection of short story fairy tale retellings, and it's supposed to be a number of retellings of Little Red Riding Hood in this book. So that'll go for that challenge. The second one I picked up is The Rose and the Beast by Francesca Lia Black. And as I mentioned before, Francesca Lia Black is hit or miss for me. So I really did not like her Weetzie Bats books. I really loved her book, Love in the Time of Global Warming. She's just been kind of on and off for me. So this is a collection of fairy tale retellings by Francesca Lia Black. It hasn't gotten great reviews, but I think that it might be an interesting book. Because I like fairy tale retellings, right? So, and then I did get 3 books from the library, and these are all graphic novels. My son and I had a chance, since he's after school, we had a chance to go to the big library here in Anoka County, and it's a big library, and they have a lot of stuff. So I was browsing through the graphic novel section and found some interesting stuff. The first one is The Secret of the Stone Frog by David Nitra. And this one has just some beautiful background. I don't know if you can see. I already read it. It was cute. It's about 2 kids that end up in an enchanted forest and have to find their way home. But the characters are illustrated pretty cartoony, but the background is just absolutely very intricate and beautiful, and it was good. The other one I picked up, which I have not read yet, is The Lost Boy by Greg Ruth. This one, again, another graphic novel. I'm not really sure what about. Sounds kind of like a mystery, thriller, horror stuff with some magical realism in it. So I'm excited to read that. And then the last one I picked up from the library is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, Eric Shanower, and Scotty Young. This had some absolutely phenomenal illustration in it. Scotty Young also is the guy who helped do Neil Gaiman's Unfortunately Milk, and I enjoyed that illustration as well. So I'm excited to read this. I've actually had this off and on in my hand at like half-price books and at the bookstore and stuff, and so when I saw it at the library, I thought, oh, I definitely gotta get that. So that's it. There's the stack of them all, along with a little bit of trash there. And that ends up being 6, 7, 8, 11 books that I got this week. A lot of them are graphic novels, so those don't take me too long to read. They're pretty quick. And they'll all go to my graphic novel challenge this year. I did post all my reading challenges on my blog that I'm participating in for this year, as well as a yearly wrap-up post that has like how many books I read and what genre they were and all that kind of stuff. So everything's pretty much set up for this year, and I'm excited to participate in some new challenges and start reading again and see if I can hit my reading goal. I set my reading goal at 250 books again this year, so we'll see how that works out. I think the last 2 years I hit like 253 and 254 or something like that. So that's pretty much my limit. I did have a year 3 years ago when I hit 270 books. That was mostly because I was traveling a lot, and so I was on the plane a lot, and I read a lot. I'd read like 2 or 3 books on the way out on my 4-hour flight, and then 2 or 3 books on the way back. So that probably won't happen again. I got a different job where I don't have to travel so much, so I can actually spend some time with my family. Anyways, all that aside, I hope you guys have a really good New Year's, the first week of New Year's here, and I hope that you have warmer weather than we do. I think the high on Monday is supposed to be -17, and that's the high. Or is it -13? I don't know. Either way, it's just way, way, way too cold. So, there's that. All right. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.